Rainwater is good for health of plants. Monsoon is also the best season for propagation of plants. But some problems also arise with monsoon, especially for container gardeners and terrace gardeners. Let me tell you 5 such very common problems that I face every year and very simple techniques I take to solve these problems. Number 1. Take time to clean the place where you keep your plants. At the same time, observe your plants, and if you find any problem with any of your plants, separate the planter for treatment. Cut the leaves, branches which touch soil so that it may not rot in contact with wet soil and water. It's true that dry old leaves and branches get rotten on soil and ultimately add nutrition to the soil. But in monsoon you can't afford this choice if you keep your plants in small containers only. It's always good to keep the surface of soil clean. Keep your adeniums, succulents, cacti under shade to save them from heavy rainfall. Check out the raincoats I made for my adeniums last year to save their caudex from getting rotten from rainwater. Check the drainage holes of all pots, especially those are kept open under sky. It is very important that the holes are blockage free so that the excess water during rain can get out. Also make sure to decant the water locked in the upper vacant part of the planter, or better if you cover the empty portion of the top with soil. Use of insecticide and antifungal. Heavy and continuous rain leads to activation of various insects and fungi. Whenever I see mealybugs, I cut the affected portion and spray neem oil on the plant on regular intervals. If you find your cuttings are getting rotten, throw them away. I generally use SAF, that is a very cheap but effective broad spectrum antifungal. Dip my cuttings into SAF water before propagation. I use a layer of SAF water on the pruned part of the branch. It's always good to dry your old soil fully under full sun to get rid of fungal spores and other bugs before reusing it. But in monsoon we can't take help of full sun. Therefore, I use very small amount of antifungal powder in my potting mix. Generally, I use fertilizers just before onset of monsoon and don't fertilize any more in rainy season, because earlier I had seen that use of organic or raw fertilizers in monsoon lead to fungal infection, especially in small container bound plants. If I find it absolutely necessary to feed my plants, I give them commercially available slow-releasing fertilizer globules where chances of fungal attacks are less, but not during a continuous raining period. These are 5 very small and simple techniques that I take to keep my plants healthy in rainy season.